My name is Charlotte, and I had been married to Peter for 5 years. When we met, he was a charming, stable man who had just come out of a difficult divorce. He had a son from that previous marriage, Ethan, who was 20 when I first met him. A quiet, well-mannered boy, Ethan rarely spoke much but always held a polite smile whenever we crossed paths. At first, I was simply Dad's new wife. I didn't expect much from Ethan. But over the years, our dynamic shifted. We started spending more time together, movie nights, late-night tea in the kitchen, casual conversations. I saw something change in him, and maybe in me too. Peter, my husband, was always busy, traveling for work, staying in hotels 3 or 4 nights a week. That left me and Ethan in the house alone more than I ever expected. It was innocent at first, until one night changed everything. It was late, past 11 p.m. I had just finished reading in bed when I realized I left the laundry in the washer. Slipping on my robe, I padded quietly downstairs to the laundry room. As I passed Ethan's room, his door was slightly open, and a faint light spilled out. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. What I saw froze me. Ethan sat on his bed, shirtless, his back slightly arched. His hand was between his legs, and his eyes were half shut. But what shocked me more was not what he was doing, but what he was looking at. It was a picture of me, a candid photo from a beach trip, in my swimsuit, smiling at the camera. I gasped too loud. Ethan snapped his head around and saw me. Charlotte, I didn't mean, he stammered, jumping up and fumbling to cover himself. I didn't know what to say. My cheeks were burning. My heart was pounding in my chest. But then something unexpected happened. I didn't run. I didn't scream. I just stood there and said the words I never imagined would leave my mouth. Why me, Ethan? His confession. He looked ashamed, but also relieved. Because you're the only woman who's ever made me feel something real, he said. You're not just beautiful. You listen. You care. I know it's wrong. I know you're married to Dad, but I can't stop thinking about you. The room was quiet. I should have turned away. I should have been furious. But instead, I walked in and closed the door behind me. Do you know what this means, Ethan? I asked, my voice low. He nodded. That you'll never speak to me again. I sat on the edge of the bed. No. It means things are complicated now. And we need to be very careful. He looked stunned. You're not mad. I shook my head slowly. I'm surprised. But part of me understands. I felt something too, Ethan. Something I never meant to feel. The storm that followed. That night ended without crossing any final lines. We talked. We opened our hearts. And we made a promise. Not to act, not to break the family. But promises are fragile, especially when temptation lives under the same roof. Days passed. Then weeks. Every glance we shared felt heavier. Every accidental touch lingered. And then one rainy afternoon it happened. Peter was out of town. I was in the kitchen, wiping the counter, when Ethan walked in, soaked from the rain, his white shirt clinging to his chest. He looked at me and said, I can't pretend anymore. Before I could respond, he kissed me. It was deep, warm, and filled with everything we'd held back. And I let it happen. Just once, I told myself. Just this once. But it wasn't. The guilt and the goodbye. What followed were weeks of secret moments, passionate, quiet, stolen from time. I knew it was wrong. I knew Peter didn't deserve this. But my heart had chosen a path I never meant to walk. Then one day, Peter came home early. He found my earring under Ethan's pillow. The storm that erupted tore everything apart. Ethan admitted everything. I did too. Peter filed for divorce. I moved out, ashamed and confused. Months passed. The ending I never expected. I was living alone in a small flat on the edge of town when Ethan showed up at my door. I've moved out too, he said. I know this was all messed up, but I love you, Charlotte. And I think you love me too. I looked into his eyes. So much had been broken, but something inside me still beat for him. I let him in. Final words for the audience. Sometimes life throws you into impossible situations. Love doesn't always come wrapped in logic. This is not a story of right and wrong. It's a story of choices, of feelings that break rules, and hearts that bleed for honesty. I didn't expect to fall for my stepson, but life never asks for permission. And that night, when I caught him in that private moment, I thought it was a mistake. I didn't know it was the beginning of a love I could never deny.